What's up, Cokesbury students? My name is Josh, and you are watching the Sunday Devotion. Hey, welcome back to the Sunday Devotion. My name is Josh. So glad that you stopped by. Hey, before we begin, I want to really quick talk about Legos. My favorite childhood toy, absolutely. And now I've got my daughter into Legos, so we love to build Legos. And if you have one of these big kits, you kind of know that, there's a bunch of things you can make, like a car. We've made one of those. Ooh, a tiger or a fox. I don't know. This is an animal. Little friendly alligator there. But yeah, I mean, there's this. Even when you get these big kits, they give you a whole booklet of different things you can build and create. I've always been kind of a booklet guy. I always like to start with the booklet. I do best with instructions. Here's the end goal and here's how we can get there. I've always done well with that. But sometimes you play long enough, you just work through the book, and all you've got left is to kind of freestyle and use your imagination. I have found though that I make the best stuff when I have some instructions, when I have a plan, when I've prepared to create something, and because sometimes I'll just let the imagination start going and then I get stuck. There is a children's book called The Little Prince, and there's a quote in there that says, "A goal without a plan is just a wish." Ooh. You didn't expect a lot of Bible or life lessons to come from children's books or from a box of Legos, but when we look at the story of Nehemiah, there's kind of comparisons to both. See, Nehemiah had this God-sized goal, this God-sized vision, born of a difficult situation, out of his passion and his love for both God and the Jewish people, and for rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem. So as we catch up real quick, Nehemiah began to pray when he had this God-sized goal, and then he began to plan and prepare while he was praying. And then we know by the end of his prayer, he was already in his planning stage. And then when he went in front of the king and the king asked what he needed, Nehemiah was prepared and had a list of requests. And when the king asked for a timeline, Nehemiah knew how long it would take. And when the king seemed open to other requests, Nehemiah was prepared and gave the king a list of things that he would need to make his journey a little bit easier. See, whenever we're making a plan or a goal for this year, whether that's to have all of your homework done by 7 o'clock, or to never miss a practice, or to just brush your teeth every day, or to go to bed on time, or if it's this God-sized goal that maybe we have trouble imagining, no matter what it is, goals always turn out better with a plan. And we're seeing that from Nehemiah, that he had a plan and he went to put it into action. No, God did not give him step-by-step instructions to that plan, but Nehemiah was relying on God, and he was relying on other people, as we find in chapter 2, that he was looking for the right people to be with him. Nehemiah was relying on himself, and he knew that God had given him a brain. He had given him wisdom. He had given him experience throughout his life to get to this point. So God had already given Nehemiah some of the things he needed to accomplish this goal. So he has a group of friends, he has himself, and then he begins to look for other resources, because he's not building walls out of Legos, he's building walls out of lumber, and he had to travel. And so he got letters from the king to allow him and his crew to pass by and to get to the work that needed to be done. So when we're trying to accomplish all these goals, like Nehemiah, we need to plan. We need to prepare. We need to surround ourselves with the right people. We need to take stock of what God has already given us, whether that's intelligence or strength or ability. And we need to, most of all, begin to rely on God. And what has he got for us? What is that vision? What is that goal that God has in store for us? I imagine that at some point, Nehemiah felt overwhelmed by the task at hand. Sure, you can plan, you can prepare, you can find all the right crew and believe in yourself, but at some point, don't you just have to stand there and go, there's got to be a wall there? sometimes that's what our goals feel like, that it's this impossible task to be done, that we can get stuck in that moment. But without a plan, a goal is just a wish. So as we continue to live into 2021, as we continue to have the best 2021 we possibly can and try to achieve those goals, let's think about these things. Number one, think about yourself. What do you have that can help you accomplish your goals? You've got a brain, okay? You've got experience of a life lived up until this point. You have ability. You may not know what those are yet, but I guarantee you, God has given you something special that will allow you to do something great. So we look at ourselves and then we look around us. Who are the people that we surround ourselves with? Nehemiah in this story was surrounding himself with people that he trusted, with people that were like-minded, that people that also loved God, that loved the Jewish people, and that loved the challenge of the task at hand. So who in your life are you surrounding yourself with that is of like mind as yourself? And then third, we look at the things in our life. What are the resources? If you have a God-sized goal, what do you need? Supplies? Do you need money? Do you need audience? Do you need a platform? Do you need a website? Like, what are those things that you need to accomplish your goal in 2021? And then finally, most importantly, the fourth thing that we should look at in accomplishing our goals is God. We have a God that throughout the Old Testament kept thousands of promises. We have a God that created the universe. We have a God that loved you so much. He gave his son Jesus so that one day you and God could be together forever. And that is a God that has never changed, that will never change, and has what's best in mind for you. No matter what your goal is, God designed you to do something special. Let's accomplish our goals. Let's live into God-sized dreams in 2021. And until we meet again, amen.